Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis now being sued by a state lawmaker. Republican Representative Misha Mainor says Willis, among others, didn't do enough to prosecute Mainor's stalker and even work to help him get less jail time.
She was granted a restraining order after his behavior became, quote, unruly and belligerent, according to the lawsuit. But Mainor is accusing District Attorney Fani Willis and Fulton County Commissioner Marvin Arrington, who is also her stalker's defense attorney, of working together to craft a plea deal and downgrade her stalker's charges from a felony to a misdemeanor without telling Mainor. He ended up serving no additional jail time, and Mainor said filing a lawsuit became her only option.
It's been over 6 years, and I have been silent about it. I've gone behind the scenes trying to seek justice for myself. This is the last straw.
We did get a response from the district attorney's office on this today. They said, quote, Representative Mainor's allegations are baseless. We have not been served with the lawsuit. If we are confident it will be dismissed.
Cash Money G Chronicles debacle, saga, train of corruption ain't never going to stop, Nez Nation. By the way, really quickly, I want to kind of explain, because some of you, I've been seeing a lot of comments, a lot of race baiting, victim mentality comments. Not you guys, Nez Nation. I know you guys are smart and sophisticated. You know better. But, we do have a lot of new viewers who maybe missed out on the disqualification hearing and everything that Fani Willis said. And a lot of other channels are now adopting, my moniker for her, Cash Money G. A lot of you guys have been asking for merch and t-shirts that say Cash Money G. I think I might have to entertain that. I haven't really given it too much thought, but it's a good idea. But I thought I'd just take a little time before I talk about this insidious lack of judicial obligation by Cash Money G to kind of explain a little bit about the name. So first of all, the name has absolutely zero to do with skin tone, you race-baiting, victim mentality desperados. It has zero to do with that, okay? In the actual disqualification hearing, she said two major statements that are really the kind of apex of this nickname that I've given to Fani Willis. First, she said, honey, I don't use checks. I pay everything with cash. Fact. Then she said, if somebody asks me for money, $1,000, then I give them a G. Never mind all of the other inequities, unprofessionalism, unethical, just really downright classless behavior from somebody who's supposed to be held at the highest standard as a DA prosecutor. Those two facts alone that came out of her mouth are really the sort of epicenter and the real premise behind that moniker. So Fani Cash Money G Willis was born. There you have it. I thought I would just explain it one time. Now let's get into this. Nepotism, favoritism, miscarriage of justice, exploiting your office, exploiting taxpayers, exploiting the people. The corruption train just keeps going. So this awesome, I'll play a little bit from her press conference too, but you kind of got a little taste of that in that news snippet. So this lawsuit has been filed in Fulton County, including not just Cash Money G Willis, but Commissioner Marvin Arrington, which you saw a clip there. Georgia representative who actually used to be a Democrat. She's now a Republican, which makes me like her all the more because she woke up to, how absolutely radicalized and woke mind, left virus the left really is. She's the victim of a criminal case involving stalking. So she alleges mishandling of the case by Commissioner Arrington initially, and then later by District Attorney Cash Money G Willis. Mainor represents Atlanta's 56th district and most recently made headlines in July when she switched from Democrat to Republican after reportedly facing harassment for breaking with the party on topics of private school vouchers and prosecutor oversight. The latter is particularly specifically interesting because the Senate committee hearing that we just covered live just a couple days ago, headed by Bill Cowsert, the Senator Bill Cowsert, that was one of the hot topics when he questioned County Commissioner Mr. Pitts and Chief Financial Officer Ms. Whitmore on the lack thereof of prosecutorial oversight on funds where Cash Money G is given $36 million and essentially, just to kind of, we went in depth on the live stream, and essentially given complete carte blanche on what to do with it. The wrong person you want to give a massive, uninhibited green light to. So essentially, this representative, Mainor, she hired this guy named Corwin Monson as a campaign volunteer, and she had to then dismiss him because he had disruptive behavior. And then it potentially reportedly escalated into stalking after she terminated. Despite trying everything, obtaining a protective order, this guy Monson, his behavior led to aggravated stalking. And so the lawsuit of Mainor suing Cash Money G alleges that Commissioner Arrington, allegedly, a close associate of Monson, see the nepotism and favoritism, wielded undue influence with the DA's office, circumventing policies and negotiating plea deals, compromising the legal process. What a huge shock that is. Arrington's alleged actions favored this stalker guy, allowing him to plead guilty to a misdemeanor instead of a felony and conspiring to have the judge removed from the case. After recorded phone calls between Arrington and this stalker guy surfaced, this guy Arrington resigned as the stalker's attorney in December 2020, leaving the one and only Cash Money G. Willis responsible for adjudication. According to the lawsuit, Cash Money G. Willis failed to properly investigate this stalker guy and offered lenient plea deals that were heavily inconsistent with policies and victims' rights laws. Mainor accuses Willis of intentionally dismissing legitimate claims against the stalker guy, showing deference to Arrington, neglecting to prosecute Monson's probation violations, and ignoring Arrington's biased relationship with superior court judges. I mean, the criminalization, the miscarriage of justice, the egregiousness, it's just dripping all over Fulton County. And the person who is sparked the leak is the one and only Cash Money G. Mainor filed complaints against Arrington with the State Bar of Georgia and the Fulton County Ethics Board, citing numerous ethics violations. However, the board reportedly dismissed the complaint without holding Arrington accountable. I'm so shocked by that. Aren't you? Let me know in the comments if you're really shocked by that. Mainor is seeking justice for the emotional and financial damages caused by this alleged misconduct. Now, I want to play a little snippet from her press conference, but before I do, also, and you heard in the earlier clip too, Mainor is actually requesting a trial by a jury of her peers to determine the outcome of this case, which I think is really, really interesting. So if that actually does go to trial, which we all know Cash Money G never, I don't think she's ever once in her life admitted that she's done anything wrong. I mean, anything. Your boy Nez has got you covered, so make sure you subscribe and follow. But let's check out a little clip from her press conference just to get a little more well-rounded idea of what's happening here.
It's evident due to the actions of the Fulton County District Attorney's Office. My lawsuit against Fani Willis, Marvin Arrington, and the Fulton County Ethics Board stems from this necessity. Stalking, often misunderstood, involves repeated, unwanted behavior, causing fear or distress. It's a serious issue affecting millions annually. My stalker, aided by Fulton County Commissioner Marvin Arrington, who also served as my stalker's personal attorney. This conflict of interest is alarming as it compromises the very justice system meant to protect victims. Despite presenting numerous witnesses, DA Willis did not interview one single witness. Over 20 were presented, including my pastor after he joined my church. This pattern of neglect and misconduct persisted, violating my rights under Marcy's law as she offered a plea deal without consenting me. The passage of the Prosecuting Attorney's Qualification Commission is a vital step towards accountability, providing recourse for citizens failed by the system. Fulton County Commissioner Marvin Arrington chose to take the stalking case against a state representative, all while he oversees and appropriates funds to the DA's office. As a criminal defense attorney, Fulton Commissioner Marvin Arrington defends his clients in the same courtroom he appropriates and has unlimited access to the judges. DA Willis is charged to represent victims in Fulton County, the very people Commissioner Arrington's private clients seek to dismiss claims against. Two attorneys, family friends, law school classmates, opposing each other with one having the authority to chop up charges to benefit the other, and one with the authority to vehemently advocate for funding. A perfect storm for an unknowing victim.
Will you look at that? Another appearance of impropriety. Another appearance of a conflict of interest. Remember what the pit bull, Steve Sadow, I love him, Trump's lead attorney, said. District attorneys are held to the highest standard. Not only do they need to appear to not have any impropriety, but there shouldn't even be a resemblance, aka an appearance of any impropriety. So her and this Arrington fellow, who obviously this is a profound conflict of interest, they were classmates. They worked together to make money off of clients as well as dismiss charges. I'm sure there was back pay. I'm sure there was under the table pay. I'm sure there was all sorts of behind the scenes fiascos monetarily, financially, criminally, etc., etc. Who do you believe? Do you believe Cash Money G? Now, let's just say, give the benefit of the doubt, even if we didn't have all of this clouded, shrouded haze of misconduct and evidence of misconduct, and we haven't seen any of her interviews, we haven't seen any of her outlandish performances and unprofessionalism in court, the mere fact that there's a lawsuit against her, the mere fact that there's even a notion of an appearance of impropriety should force her to recuse herself from the Georgia election interference case a la Donald Trump and 18 other defendants. But of course, we know that won't happen. This is why Bill Cowsert and the Senate committee are pursuing these hearings and trying to investigate and find out, where are these tax dollars going? How are they being appropriated? Where is the oversight? Where is the actual reporting and actual documentation? She has been getting away with venomous miscarriages of justice for so long. I mean, the absolute annihilation of justice here is it's like gut-wrenching. It's so flabbergasting. I'm just astounded that this individual left in this the poor people of Fulton County, the poor residents, the poor citizens, the people who, it's almost as if the criminals, the organized criminals, have become the elected officials. They're supposed to, the bad guys became this quote unquote good guys, which makes them even 10 times worse as bad guys. Just another monkey in the wrench here for Cash Money G. Willis. Another blight on an already highly blemished resume, highly blemished, highly disrepaired reputation and ethos. I pass this off to you, Nez Nation. What do you think of all of this? What do you think of the obvious connection between that Arrington fellow and the commissioner and Cash Money G. Willis? What do you think of Georgia Representative Misha Mainor and this lawsuit that she was filed? I mean, the poor woman hired this stalker guy and then had to probably had a tough time letting him go, probably didn't even want to. And then this guy ends up stalking her aggravatingly, aggressively. And then because this Commissioner Arrington guy and Cash Money G are in cahoots, they let him get away with it. They let him get away. And I'm sure Cash Money G got a hefty fee for that, either from Arrington himself or she misappropriated taxpayer dollars to let him go and gave him a lenient plea deal. It is corruption swamp. It is corruption deluge. It is corruption flooding. It is choked at the throat, suffocating corruption in Fulton County. It's got to stop. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. As always, it's literally physically impossible. I try really, really hard to read all your comments and respond to them, but It's just physically impossible with the depth and scale. But if you become a member, you get top priority. Consider becoming a member. It only costs you a cup of coffee to support the truth here, to support us. All the proceeds go back into the channel. You also get a bunch of perks, exclusive badges next to your name, shout-outs and live streams, as well as access to our members-only Discord where we all hang out, interact, and engage. Nowhere else do we do that except in our members-only Discord. So consider. You don't have to. I'm always going to be giving you guys the best content on planet Earth, but just something a little added. I am going to give you something free, though, and that is our newsletter. Become a Nez Nation Insider. That is our free newsletter where you get all the latest breaking current events, news, breaking stories right to your inbox. There's a good chance this channel is going to get deleted because a lot of the people in charge here at these platforms in the social media space, they're very, very radical, left-leaning. So there's a good chance we're going to probably get deleted. If you never want to miss out, it's in the pinned comment, description, and show notes. Subscribe to our free newsletter. All you need to do is plug in your best email. Boom, you're in. Check out these videos coming up right now on the screen. As always, God bless you, Nez Nation, your families, and God bless America. I'll see you soon.